Hey everyone, welcome to day one of the Book Your Dream Clients training series. This is going to be such an amazing few days for you, and I'm really excited that you have decided to up-level yourself, to take the time to learn some cutting-edge strategies that are actually going to push your business forward. This isn't going to be just some fluffy training where you're going to feel inspired and still continue doing what you're doing. This is going to cause you to not only get inspired, but then take inspired action, which is super important as an entrepreneur. All right, so we're on day one, and day one is themed all around becoming the visionary. And I decided to title day one Become the Visionary because I really want you to think about what you can become in the future. Whether that is 1 year from now, 6 months, 5 years, it doesn't matter. Becoming the visionary is what you will be doing. So why not become that person now? What's a visionary? A visionary is somebody who is always seeing the big picture, coming up with all these amazing ideas, envisioning all the potential for their business. And when we are stuck in the employee mindset, it's really hard for us to tap into becoming the visionary, right? A lot of times employees are negatively talking about their position, what they do. They don't feel that they're inspired. They don't feel like they're getting anything out of their job. But the visionary is the one who sees the big picture, who's positive about everything, who is mindful about what they say. They're all about their mindset. They're all about making their business the most positive and biggest thing for not only themselves, but for the world. They want to impact the world. They don't want to just, have a hobby. They want to impact the world. And I know that's you. So here's how we're going to become the visionary today. We're going to answer some questions that are very important to take note on. I don't want you to skip over these. I want you to go through them with me because that's why you're here. So the first question is, when it comes to your business, what are you struggling with? And I don't want you to spend 20 minutes thinking about all of your struggles. I want you to start writing them down now. And if you're feeling like you can't come up with anything, I'll give you some examples of what I remember I was struggling with. So before I became the visionary of my business, I was struggling with clarity. I was struggling with who I helped and how I helped them. I was struggling with traffic. I was struggling with money. I was struggling with all the same things that you're struggling with right now. And I remember identifying with those struggles. And I remember talking about them all of the time, which kind of leads us into that next space where we're talking about how many times a day do you think about these struggles. So if you're jotting down your struggles right now and you're thinking, wow, I think about this all the time. These things that you just wrote down, are they things that you think about right away in the morning, when you go to bed at night? Are they answers you're constantly looking for online? How often do you think you replay those struggles in your mind every single day? Probably multiple times, right? You wake up thinking, I hope I get a client today. You wake up thinking, I hope my blog post gets more than 50 views. I hope I get a lot of downloads on my podcast. I hope I get this many likes on my Instagram post. We're always hoping, wanting, I need. Those are really important words. So I accentuated them because they are our blueprint. So, for example, you might know some people in your world who are constantly saying things like, life is hard, or, you get rich and you have to work really hard to get rich. You get rich and you die young. Like all these weird things that mean nothing. But those things that we've heard all of our lives since we were born, they're imprinted in the backs of our minds. So if we were surrounded by people who are constantly complaining about their job, who are complaining about every situation in their life, who would complain about a rainbow, that's kind of the personality that we might have if we haven't decided to shake that off. So you might be noticing that some of the struggles that you are identifying with could be something that you have heard in the past, not only from a family member, but from friends or coworkers or anyone else. Even TV is super influential. So think about some of the phrases that you use. What do you feel like you're constantly saying? And it doesn't have to be vocally, it could be inside your mind. What are you always worrying about and identifying with? I have to book my first client. I haven't booked a client yet. If I could just book a client, if I could just do this, if I could just do that, if I could just bring in $500 in my business this month, if I could just sign on 5 students to join my program, we're always using the word just. That is one of my big turning points. I remember when I decided to really pay attention to how many times I use the word just, because that word just, it kind of like puts us in this scarcity, negative connotation. If I could just do this, if I could just, we're struggling. It's like I'm struggling. You're replacing the word of I'm just with I'm struggling. If I could just book clients, scratch out just, I'm struggling to book clients. I'm struggling. So many struggles, right? And I think you've probably filled up your spaces by now, thinking of all the things that you're struggling with right now, how many times you talk about them, think about them, how you phrase them. I think it's all starting to come to light. So we're going to move on to the next page. Which brings me to this. Your thoughts become your reality. And I don't know if this is new to you or if you've been in. This is such a powerful subject, and it can go so deep. We're just going to tap into how your thoughts about your business become your reality. When you identify with your struggles, just like we wrote all of those up there, it's like you're printing out a daily script for how your life will be, for how your day will be. I always say this, not only to my students and clients, but even to family members. People who constantly identify with these struggles, I can't book clients. If I could just book clients and make some money, if I could just quit my 9 to 5, all of these things. It's like you lying in bed, sending your thoughts to a printer, and your printer's like, oh, we're gonna print the sad emoji out for the day. And you're going to sit up in bed, grab your sheet, and that becomes your reality. Every single thought you have, everything that you speak about, everything that is playing in your mind is your reality. So are you finding that these things that you say you struggle with and the things you talk about all the time, is that how your business is running? Because think about it. If I would say, I struggle with booking clients, that's the sheet that I'm printing out. But if I stop saying that and I become grateful for the clients that I work with, that breaks this whole chain up. This stuff goes all flying out the window because our printer has nothing negative to print out for us. It just realized that you are speaking positively. It's not doing this anymore because it's not serving you. So when you are constantly identifying with those struggles, this is what happens. But if you decide to embody the coach you want to be now and begin your statements with something really powerful like, I am, things are going to change. So before we get into the I ams, I want to just give you some warning phrases that I want you to avoid and be really mindful of using them. Not using them. No. So I want you to avoid phrases that begin with I can't, I don't, I need, I wish, if I could just. Watch that one. These phrases do nothing positive for you. They keep you stuck, wishing for more, and they completely hold you back. Okay? So I hope the light bulb's starting to click for you. I hope you're starting to really take a look at even just how you spent your day today. What did you think about when you woke up, when you got ready for the day? What was your thought process? Were you positive? Were you using powerful I am statements? And what kind of sheet did you print out for your day? All right, so I am statements are so powerful. And they're even more powerful if you say, I am grateful, and finish your sentence. I have a big notebook in front of my desk. And every morning, before I allow my hand to touch the mouse to wake up my computer, I always write in my notebook at least 5 to 10 powerful I am statements. So I'll write things down like, I am grateful for my clients. I am grateful for my new students joining my program this month. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my kids' happiness. Just whatever pops into my mind. I don't spend more than a couple of minutes on it, but I do this every morning. And I want you to look at this sheet that you had up here, and I want you to twist those words around. So if one of your struggles was, I can't book clients, I want you to turn it into, I am grateful for my new clients. If one of your spots was, I just can't seem to bring in any money into my business, I want you to flip it into, I am grateful for the new income that comes into my business every single day. If one of your statements was, I can't focus, because that's a big one. We need to be able to focus. I am grateful for my ability to focus on the things that need my attention. You see how we can switch everything around? We can switch everything around that we say. And that's the most powerful thing about it all. We don't have to wait for somebody to do it for us. We don't have to pay for anything. It's free. You just switch it up. I am grateful for this. Now, this is an amazing way to start your training. You've gone from struggle mentality to positive, powerful, positive statements that are going to take that sheet that you have been printing off every single day, throw it in the garbage. You're doing something new now. So it's perfect. This is a perfect way to start your training. So what I want you to do is focus on this workbook. And then tomorrow you're going to get the next training delivered right into your inbox. So I want you to pay attention to that, because you're going to get a whole new link, a whole new video, and a whole new workbook. And if you have any questions, I want you to hit reply on your email or join the Facebook group, dreamclientcommunity.com. Ask away. I'm here for you. Let me know if you need anything as you go through this. I'm so excited for you, and I'll see you tomorrow.